Hello everyone, I am Siddharthan. In this video, let's understand how we can install and do the setup for DBeaver. DBeaver is an amazing tool for you to work with databases. So the advantage with using DBeaver is that it's kind of acts as a universal database access tool where you can access different databases like MySQL, Postgres, etc. So that will be the agenda for today's video where we will do the installation and try to connect with MySQL and Postgres. So let's get started. So the first step is to download the installer for Windows. So currently I'm on Windows and let's see that we can do this installation for Windows 11. So you can just search for download DBeaver and you will see this DBeaver community version. So go to this link and if you scroll below, so we have the installation links and files for different operating systems. So here I'll choose this Windows installer. So this is going to download a file for me, which is like not a very big file. So this is the installer file. So once this has been downloaded, we can run this and install the application that we need. So let's wait for this. Right. So we have this .exe file. So I have already downloaded this file. So I can just go ahead and open this. So I have this DBeaver CE, which stands for the community edition. And then we have the version numbers and so on. So I'll double click this. And here you can click on next. You can scroll through and click on I agree. So either you can install this for this particular user or you can kind of do this installation for all the users that are using this particular machine. So I'll click on for anyone who uses this computer, and that's going to require admin access. So I'll click on next and let's click on yes again. I agree. So here you can do this reset settings if you have like already installed this and deleted this. So you can click on that and say associate.sql file so that when you open that, it will open in DBeaver. So click on next and you can choose the destination folders. I'm just leaving this with the default directory, which is C program files DBeaver. Next and click on install. So that's going to create a start menu folder. So let's wait for this installation to complete. So the installation is done and it took only like a minute or something like that. So here I'll click on this create desktop shortcut. That's going to create a shortcut here and click on finish. So we have this DBeaver community edition icon. So we can open this. So I'll double click here. So we have this universal database manager. So in my previous videos, I have explained you how you can install MySQL and Postgres. So if you don't know how to do that, you can follow those videos, do the installation, and then you can connect those databases with DBeaver. So I'll give the link of those videos in this video description. You can check that out. So let's wait for this DBeaver to start. Okay. So we have DBeaver here. And these are all the databases that I've already kind of connected. Let me just close this for now and I'll show you how you can do this connection again. So let's delete this as well. So we have to make sure that all those databases are running in the background. So for MySQL, so we would have downloaded MySQL Server and MySQL Workbench. So I can run Workbench now. So MySQL Workbench. So refer to that video if you are not sure about the installation steps. So there we have also taken some sample database to work with. So this is our local instance. So local instance MySQL 80. So the user name is root and the port is 3306, which is the default port for MySQL. So I'll click on this and this is going to start my MySQL server. And here we have like four databases, the Sakila, Sys and World. So these three things are kind of the default sample databases. And the healthcare database is something that we have created with this diabetes table with some sample CSV files and so on. So okay, so that's about it. So we have the column names and so on. So let's try to connect to this maybe world data set. So this world data set has city, country, country language and so on. So let's connect to this particular database. So I'll open my DBeaver. So make sure that your workbench is running, as I said, because uh, if we want to connect to the MySQL from this DBeaver, so we need to make sure that the MySQL server is running. So that's for that purpose. So here you're seeing this plug icon, right? So this is where we are going to establish the connection. So click on this new database connection, and here you have to choose what DB that you want to connect to, whether it's MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres, or like whatever you want. Okay, so I'll click on this MySQL and click on next. So when you do this for the first time, it's going to download some additional extension, so allow it to download that. So you may not see this in my machine because I've already worked with the DBeaver. So but when you're choosing a MySQL or different databases, you need to do that download configuration thing. So follow that process. It's like not complex at all. You just have to click on a button for download and so on. So here we have the server host as localhost, and 3306 is the default MySQL port. And database, as I said, the database that we are going to connect to is this world database, or you can also connect to the other databases that you have. So I'll click on this, give this database name as world. And in the installation video, we have just taken the password as the same name of the username. So it's username is root, password is also root. So I'll give this, and other things I don't have to do anything. So I can just click on finish. So now the connection has been established. So when I click on this drop down, so I can see the databases. Here you're seeing a smaller green tick, right? So that means like the connection has been established. You can click on this down drop down, and it will show the databases, users, and so on. So if you go to this databases, so we are specifically connected to this world, so you can access this. So if I click on this, we have this diabetes and other things and so on, but this world database is something that we are involved in, we are like kind of interested in. So now let's try to look at the data. So here we have when you click on this drop down again, it will show you the different tables. So it's city, country, and country language. So right click here, you can see this create script and other things and so on. So if you want to create a table, you can do that. So here when you double click this, it's going to show you this properties data and ER diagram. I'll show you this again. So when you click on, maybe I'll close this here. So we have three tables. So the first thing is, once we have connected to the database, we have to go to the database drop down, and within that we are going to this world databases, and within that we have like three tables: city, country, and language. So I'll double click on the city. This is going to show me properties with the all the column names, what is their data type, and so on. And then I can click on the data to look at the exact data itself, and then we have this ER diagram and so on. So this is how you can look at the data. And now let's say that we want to write some queries. So I can click on this world and go to this SQL. That's going to create a SQL script that's going to run against this world database. Okay, so as you can see, that's why we have the database name here as world. So I can just write some simple queries like select asterisk. That means select everything from, I don't have to mention the database name as world because it's already, this SQL script is going to already run in this world database. So I can say select everything from city and run this. So this is going to give me the output. So if I want to look at the count, so I can just say count. I can select the entire script, and I can click on this run symbol, execute SQL query. So that's going to give me the count of this particular table. So similarly, you can do this for country and other things and so on. So I'll print the entire table of country. So this is going to give us the count, which is 239, and I'll remove this count. So you can again run other complex scripts as well, some joining, filtering scripts, and so on. So it's giving us the entire data. So this is how you can connect to a MySQL database from DBeaver, and you can write the scripts and so on. And the process is pretty similar for other databases as well. So now let's see how we can do this similar connection thing for a Postgres database. Again, I've made a video on how you can do this connection thing. So if you're not sure about that, you can watch that video, do the complete installation with those sample data sets and so on. So now the Postgres database or the Postgres server is not running. So I have to make sure that it's running in the background. So for that, I have to go to my command prompt, and I have to run this command prompt as administrator. So I'll just go to the search bar and search for command prompt. So I can right click here and click on this run as administrator. You can either choose from here, or you can right click here and choose as run as administrator, because starting and stopping this database service is going to require you admin privileges. So I'll click on this yes. So in most cases, it will be running when your Windows is running. But let's say that you don't want your database server to run all the time. You can stop the service, or you can also change the configuration to say that run whenever I kind of run this command and so on. So you can do that as well. So now let's say that we want to start this Postgres server. So I have to say net start Postgres SQL. So PostgreSQL hyphen x64 17. So this kind of comes down to the version of Postgres that we have installed. So the version of Postgres that I have is kind of a Postgres 17, as you can see, PostgreSQL 17.0 into 64. So this is the version that I have. So that's why I'm mentioning as Postgres hyphen x64 hyphen 17. So this Postgres hyphen x64 won't change. The only thing that may change to you is the version number, because you would have installed 16 or some other version. So only this last 17 or that particular number changes for you, but this PostgreSQL -x64 won't change. So I'm just saying net start PostgreSQL 6417, and this is running as administrator. So let's run this, and that's going to start the Postgres server. So the Postgres SQL Server 17 service is starting, and it has started successfully. So if you want to stop, you can just type and stop here, but let's do that later. So I'll open my DBeaver again. I can click on this new database connection, and here I'm going to choose Postgres. As I said, when you click a new database, right? So maybe let's do that. So it's going to download some other kind of extensions that it needs. As I done that already, it's not showing, but you can kind of phase that, and you can just like download the other dependent softwares that it kind of the extension that DBeaver needs. So I click on this Postgres, click on next. And for a Postgres, the default port is 5432, so it's already there. And the database, like we have different database here. So this I can maybe show this to you in PG admin. PG admin is like kind of the graphic user interface for you to work with Postgres databases, just like MySQL Workbench. So this DBeaver helps us to connect to different databases. So that's again the reason why we are kind of doing that on DBeaver. So let's wait for this PG admin to start. So in that video, I've also explained to you how you can install this PG admin and load the data and so on. So here we have the server, and the password is same for me. So I've saved the password as a root here. So I have different database here, and this is the DVD rentals, the sample database that we got from the internet. It's like sample database dump, and it has like tables. Like if you go to this public schemas, right? So I'll go to the drop down of this database, and here we have DVD rentals and the default Postgres database. In this DVD rentals, we have different schemas, and in the public schema, I'll open this, and finally we will find this tables. And in this tables, we have like about 15 tables: actor, address, category, and so on. So this is the database to which we are going to connect to. Okay, so let's see how we can do this in DBeaver. So the database that we are going to connect to is DVD rentals. So the one that you are seeing here. So DVD rental. So type that name here, and the password is, as I said, root. So the username, default username is Postgres. When you're installing Postgres, it would ask you to give a password. So there you can give you some simple password of your choice, because this is just going to stay on your local. So after that, I can click on this finish. So let's wait for that green tick. As you can see, we are seeing a green tick. That means like the database has been connected. So click on this drop down, and click on the databases drop down again, and you will see this DVD rental. And then in the schemas, we have public. So this is the structure when it comes to a Postgres database. So first we have the database, right? So in this DVD rental, so we have the database, DVD rental, schemas, public, and tables is going to be your actor, address, category, and so on. So maybe I'll click on this actor, and it's going to show me properties, data, and ER diagram. I'll click on this data, and we have all those details and so on. So previous script that we ran was on the world database. So now what I'll do is I'll click on this actor table and click on SQL, and that's going to run my SQL script on this DVD rental. So you can see this name in these tabs. So this is our SQL editor, and we see this in the tab name. So the the database name. So here again I can say select everything from uh, actor. So let's select this and run this. So it's going to show me the data. So maybe let's try this for another table. Let's say language. So select everything from language. And let's run this. So execute the SQL query, and this is going to give you the language table and so on. So this is how you can install DBeaver and connect to different databases. So you can also try this with SQLite and other database that you saw in this connection string. Like basically, what are all the databases that you're using? So the reason is you may work with different database for different projects and use cases, and you may need like a single user interface application to kind of access the data. So that's the reason we are going with DBeaver in this case. So that's the reason. Now I'll just like close this DBeaver and I can stop my Postgres thing. So previously we said net start PostgreSQL, right? So now I'll say net stop. You can just click on this up arrow, so that's going to show me the previous command, and here I can just say stop. So net stop PostgreSQL 6417. As I said, the version number may change for you. So this is stopping the service, and now it has stopped successfully. So now I can close this. If I open my DBeaver again, now it's going to show me an error because Postgres is not running. So let's see if that happens. So as you can see, connection to DVD rental cannot be established because like it's kind of refused. That means it basically the server is not running. So that's how you can stop your Postgres server as well. So that is all from my side, and I hope that you have learned how you can set up DBeaver and do the DB connection. I'll see you in the next upload. Thanks for watching.